officially on our way to our first long distance camping trip.
Yeah, it is definitely outside of the range of this vehicle on a single charge anyways.
Yes.
So we want to see how that goes.
Yes. We're at, how many miles is it officially? I don't even know.
To the campsite?
Yeah, to where we're staying.
Right at 140. Anyways, we're going to Lovewell State Park in Kansas. The interesting thing about this trip for the car anyways is going to be finding a place to charge, because there are absolutely no DC fast chargers on the actual route going there. We could go to Grand Island, which would take us, I can't remember, 30-40 miles out of the way, and go there, but I wanted to try a little bit different way. There's an app that we found through YouTube people, so thank you, called PlugShare, and they give you certain campgrounds that have higher amperage charging, things like that. And so there are a couple on this route, and so we're going to try doing that. It'll probably mean that we have to stop for an hour or two, or maybe 3. It just kind of depends how bad our consumption is or how good it is. And but we're going to stop in an area that we can actually go explore and do things, and that's what we're curious about. Are we going to be okay with that or not?
Yeah, and will we be able to entertain the kids while we're charging? Is it going to make us actually like explore more and find more things and discover more things? Is it there's so many things.
Yeah.
There's so many questions. I mean, we're coming through town on a Friday, and I believe we have to stop and charge at a campground.
Yeah.
So I hope not all the sites are taken.
Well, it's a small town, and so I think small town Nebraska, a lot of them have campgrounds, and so
Yeah.
they could be. I don't know, but I'm assuming not. But we're kind of picking one that has a little bit better area to explore.
Yeah.
So that's our hope. But there's a couple on the way, so if the first one is taken, then we'll have to go explore to the next one. Yeah, we made it to the campground area that we have to charge at.
This was a good place for us to stop. We knew the kids would be able to play, but the kids had just started complaining, and we were able to stop and let them out, and now they're running around, and they made a disaster of the camper. I was able to clean it up, and it's not in the car, and it would never get cleaned up if it was in the car. This is easy if this is what we're gonna have to do.
Yeah, it's definitely slower. It's not what I'm used to getting there fast, but I think it'll be a good change, maybe.
Yeah.
So far, it's really good, actually.
We're in the middle of COVID. There is a fantastic playground right behind us, but you know, we're trying to follow the rules and keep the kids contained. And I also like that, you know, we don't have to go into a public bathroom or any place. Like, we've got everything with us. I would say if it was a little bit hotter, we would want the air conditioner on in the camper. But this cake.
Yeah.
So, got a little bit left time on charging, right?
Yeah.
So, we'll let the kids play some more. Looks like they went back into raid more snacks.
And there's a little river that's back over here, so I kind of want to venture to that.
Yeah, we'll go explore a little bit.
Yeah. So.
That'll be fun.
Right here.
Catch the gun!
Uh-oh. They're falling all over. It's that tree. It's been too long.
Since we've been in nature.
Yeah. They haven't asked for an iPad yet.
No.
What time you want to get there?
It's okay.
As soon as possible, but without stressing me out.
We can leave anytime.
Okay, how many miles of range do we have?
I don't know. Enough.
No.
There's yucky bubbles.
We're not taking very safe.
Especially in flip-flops.
Nice.
Good morning. What are you doing, bud?
Nothing.
Nothing.
We're just in the truck going to Papa's because we couldn't bring our Tesla Model X.
Why? What is it doing? Is it charging?
Yeah.
Yeah. We have only 30 amps, so we need to leave it plugged in as long as humanly possible. And unfortunately, our campsites are not next to each other, so we are having to drive back and forth. So we are stealing Grand and Papa's Dodge Ram, or no, not Dodge anymore, sorry, Ram truck.
I forgot my coffee, very important.
Uh-oh, very important. So we're stealing it to get back and forth from campsites, because we...
Yeah, we're stealing it. We're
Because
not actually stealing it.
We're not actually stealing it, you're right. But we need it to get back and forth from the campsite so that the Tesla can remain plugged in as much as humanly possible. There is a plan to maybe go get some 50 amp today, but we shall see.
I'm not sure we'll need it, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have 60% batteries.
Oh, nice. That's doing good. And that was, I mean, we were pretty well at 0 when we got here.
Yeah.
So that's good. Good. Okay. Good to know. But let's go back and we're going to go eat lunch and then start exploring. So today is the SpaceX launch. So on our way to our adventure, we stopped and are watching it on the car. So we're watching it right there on our Model X.
Hopefully it goes.
Stage 1 and Stage 2 engine chill has started.
We've got one that's real excited about the
Stage 1 engine
launch.
chill has started. That's gone up to the crew. So
We
that
think
they've got
maybe we'll wake him up.
situational
I don't
awareness.
know. Maybe we'll just play it for him again after it's done and pretend like it's when it's happening.
He really needs a nap.
Getting ready to
does.
finish the fuel line.
Track engine. We're go for launch. Looks like we can handle.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Ignition.
Listen, there it goes.
There it goes.
We're in space! Okay, not us, but yeah, America is in space. We opted to show him the replay. He's still zonked out. But that was cool. And we got to watch it in our Tesla. So thanks, Elon. In true COVID style, there's not really much to show you because we can't go in anywhere or do anything. But we're walking around Red Cloud, taking some pictures of town.
Willa Cather, famous Nebraska author. I don't know anything else about her. Ian, what'd you read?
She lived here in the 1800s. It was her childhood home.
Yeah, it's a pretty setting, old setting. I don't know.
Yeah.
Town.
Pretty old town.
Yeah.
1883
So.
is
Very
when the
pretty,
bank was.
but
Yeah.
They have a lot of stuff you can see. It's just not open.
Yeah. Pretty town, cute town. Lots of things to do if it's not COVID-19.
Yeah.
So we'll walk around a little bit more, maybe show you some of the cute buildings and stuff, but not too exciting today.
But still fun to be out.
It's not home.
Hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. You and I, we got it. We don't need no more.
We just wanted to talk a little bit about the charging for the car.
Yeah, we just got back from exploring a little bit. Like we said, there wasn't much to do, but we did drive the car.
Yeah, so right when we got here, we plugged it in. We do have 30 amp, so that means it charges a lot slower than a typical 50 amp. They didn't have 50 amp, so we just took the 30 amp. And things should work out. We'll find out tomorrow.
So we didn't unplug. We didn't plug in the camper or anything, so we
could have. We still
Yeah.
had a 20 amp.
yeah.
That we could have, but we just
We
didn't because it's nice weather and
Yeah.
didn't need it.
So over the course of the entire night, we're able to get to about 60%
Yeah.
charged on the car.
Getting 60%. So.
Yeah. So, which gave us enough to go explore and drive around and, be gone for a few hours today doing
Yeah.
stuff. So, I would say that is sufficient. I think that was
Yeah, I
fine.
honestly was surprised by that it
Yeah.
did that well. This was the biggest thing. I thought we'd get here and have to be plugged in the entire time. As it's looking, it doesn't look that way, but we'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah. So, do you know how much battery, what the percentage was when we got
30,
back? 30. And we think if we don't unplug the whole night, that by the time we have to leave tomorrow by around noon to 1,
Yeah.
that we should be at 100% on the battery. So,
At least enough to get to where we need to go.
yeah. So that would be good news, because we were thinking that if we had 30 amp, that we would just have to stay. Like any place that we would go that we only had 30 amp, the car would just have to go sit to be able, if you couldn't get to a supercharger easily or a DC fast charger.
Yeah.
So we were thinking we'd just have to go sit.
Yeah, and so, yeah, which wouldn't be.
Not ideal.
Just to talk a little bit about the DC fast charge, like we obviously live in Nebraska, and Nebraska along the interstate has a lot, but we dip down south of the interstate and there's really not much
No
for
man's
charging.
land.
They do have, because of this whole Volkswagen diesel lawsuit, or I don't know if you call it lawsuit, but anyway, some sort of thing. There are some small towns that have gotten grants to get DC fast charger, and one of them would have been a perfect one in between here. And so once they get some of those in the smaller towns that are in between interstates or off the interstate, it'll be a lot better, because you can charge those 50 kilowatt hours. That would be way more ideal than what we're having to do if you wanted to get somewhere super fast, or as fast as possible. You're not going to get somewhere super fast unless if it's like 30 miles from your house.
Well, and even just feeling confident going out into places in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's
Like,
a little nerve-wracking.
we got an alert on the car as we were coming down here that we were getting too far away from any known chargers
Yeah.
and that we needed to plan our next charging point. So you're like, is this a good idea?
Yeah. Then you start to wonder, can I, charge enough at the campsite? This is a terrible idea.
Yeah, you start to second guess yourself a little bit.
So this is good that this may turn out.
Yeah, and I think the other, we do know that some of those the DC fast chargers are coming. Like, you can see them if you go on to like PlugShare or one of those apps. You can see like where they're coming, but they're just not there yet.
No.
So it's just that there's plans for them to go into those places. So,
Yeah.
but it's working out so far, and
So
that
far.
is the bottom line, is that it's working.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have not gotten into an experience yet where I would be like, this doesn't work, you can't do this. Because, I mean, was I nervous on the way down here when the car started telling us that we can't, like, you're pretty much screwed, just turn around. Yes, I was a little nervous at that point. But then, like, you pull in here and you still have another 10, 15 miles you can go, and you're like, oh, it's fine.
Which in trailer telling that's like 5.
Yeah. But anyway, we're already probably changing our plans for tomorrow because of the weather.
Yeah.
We were going to go back a different route and go through Grand Island again and hit the supercharger there, but instead, because of how the wind's going to be, we may take the exact same route that we took to get here, because we won't be going straight west for as long, because the wind's supposed to come out of the southeast.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to try to avoid that headwind as much as possible.
And it's going to be 20, 30 mile an hour. So.
Yeah, it's going to be
But
strong.
that could change, just like it changed
Yeah.
from yesterday to today.
Yeah.
Let's hope it switches, and maybe we can go to Grand Island and do that route. But
Yeah.
just wanted to see the difference of that, going a little bit further out of your way to hit one of those fast chargers versus not.
Mm-hmm.
But if the wind isn't going to cooperate, I'm going to make it the most comfortable drive. So.
Yeah. So this drive was slow, but we could have gone for ever.
Yeah, the roads in Nebraska, some of them are not as busy, so you can slow down a little bit. And plus it was raining and it was windy, and
Yeah.
I didn't know how it was going to go, so we just kind of slowed down to 50. We did 55 in some areas too, and so got some really good consumption.
Yeah.
Not really good, but better.
Yeah, I mean, there was a possibility we could have made it all the way home.
Yeah.
Without charging, if we would have kept our speeds down, but we decided to stop and give the kids a snack and just take it slow, and
Yeah.
So
It's very interesting seeing the consumption when it started raining. It definitely increased. Obviously, more resistance on everything, and then also the wind. It definitely played a big role.
yes.
Because we were going a little bit into it, but the rest of the way home should be behind us and a little bit off to the right passenger side, so
Yeah.
should be pretty good. That's why we probably could have made it home, but who wants to guess on that one?
Yes, you don't want to get stranded like 10 miles from home.
Yeah.
So we're just going to charge for a little bit and then get on our way and get home for the day.
Yeah.
Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon, side by side and through, no limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.